The 4 people charged in connection to the murder of a Richmond police officer had their first court appearances this morning.
A triple shooting in Wolfe County leaves a woman dead.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. There was extra security at the Hall of Justice in Richmond today as 4 suspects charged in connection to the death of a police officer answered to the charges against them.
Raleigh Sizemore entered a not guilty plea to the murder of Richmond officer Daniel Ellis last week. 3 others charged in the case also pleaded not guilty. WKYT's Victor Puente is live now in Madison County with reaction. It's our top story at noon. Victor?
All 4 of these defendants appeared by video for their arraignments. 3 of them from the Madison County Detention Center. The 4th, Raleigh Sizemore, from the Kentucky State Reformatory in LaGrange. After his arrest, Sizemore was taken back to LaGrange because he was out on parole when he was charged with killing Officer Daniel Ellis last week. The courtroom was filled with law enforcement during the arraignments. Sizemore is charged with murder of a police officer, 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer, unlawful imprisonment, and robbery. His bond was set at $2.5 million. Gregory Ratliff is charged with complicity to murder. Police say he led Ellis into his apartment where the officer was shot. His bond is $2 million. Police say Carl Banks was driving the van and Rita Creech was in the passenger seat during the attempted robbery that led police to Ratliff's apartment. Banks and Creech are both charged with robbery. Their bonds have been set at $100,000. All 4 had not guilty pleas entered for them. The county attorney said this case has been tough on everyone involved.
I can't recall in my years of prosecuting a more difficult circumstances. However, we, in light of those circumstances, will have to continue to do what the Commonwealth needs to do, which of course is to fully prosecute all these defendants.
The judge in this case said the public defender's office may have to find Sizemore another attorney because of a possible conflict of interest with the public defender's office. The county attorney told me that's because some of the victims in his unlawful imprisonment charge are also some of his co-defendants. Live in Richmond, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. And all 4 will be back in court November 18th for their preliminary hearings. Visitation for Officer Ellis begins tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Alumni Coliseum on the Eastern Kentucky University campus in Richmond. His funeral will also be there Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. EKU is canceling most classes in honor of the funeral. All Madison County schools, including the Model Lab at EKU, will also be closed Wednesday. Governor Steve Beshear has ordered all flags at state buildings be lowered to half staff that day in honor of Ellis. We have more information about how you can show your support for law enforcement, including the Ellis family, on WKYT.com.
In other news at noon, an arrest has now been made in a deadly triple shooting in eastern Kentucky. It happened shortly after midnight this morning on Hoscat Lane off Highway 15 in the Pine Ridge community of Wolfe County. Preston Wilson turned himself in at Hazard Appalachian Regional Hospital this morning, and he is now charged with assault. WKYT's Sean Moody has the latest in this Crime Tracker report. Sean?
Kentucky State Police say Preston Wilson turned himself in at Hazard ARH Hospital just within the past hour or so. Police have been searching for him all morning long, and in fact, schools here in Wolfe County had been out of classes because of that manhunt. Police say one of the people who was shot here inside this business told them that Wilson was the person who shot him. Kentucky State Police gave us these pictures of Preston Wilson. They say he was arrested and charged with 1 count of assault. Around midnight, Kentucky State Police said they got the call about a shooting here at M&S Log Homes. They say David M. Spencer told police Wilson shot him inside the basement. He was able to get away and drive to a gas station in Campton where he called for help. When police got here, they found David L. Spencer, his father, and Brenda Hatton shot inside a home on the property. They say Hatton died. Emergency crews rushed both Spencers to the UK hospital. State police say it's lucky that Spencer was able to get somewhere where he could make a phone call.
Yes, I mean, this is kind of a touchy area as far as when it comes to cell service, but as we stated earlier, it is a good thing that he was able to flee the scene.
Again, Kentucky State Police told us Wilson was arrested without incident. They're still investigating the case. In Wolfe County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you very much. Police said that Wilson would likely be taken to the Three Forks Regional Jail.
A paramedic critically injured in a crash has been taken off life support. John Mackey was hit by a car last Thursday in downtown Nicholasville. Now Jessamine County leaders are finding ways to honor the life of one of their beloved paramedics. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is live outside UK Hospital now with an update. Kristen.
Barbara, those fellow paramedics have been standing vigil here at UK Hospital for several days now, and they're not going to leave John Mackey's side until they can bring his body back home to Jessamine County. Yesterday evening, first responders, county leaders, and members of the community held a prayer vigil for Mackey and his family. Vigil organizers told the crowd Mackey isn't expected to survive. Their focus now is on helping his family. Friends have raised more than $8,000 for them through a GoFundMe account. Surrounding counties are picking up shifts for Jessamine EMS crews, so those first responders that worked with Mackey can be with him during this difficult time.
The crews do come together as a family in Jessamine County, and it's affected everyone from our judge executive all the way down to the families of the crews.
Vigil organizers told us that Mackey is an organ donor, and his family is taking comfort in the fact that he is going to help others survive even if he cannot. Live in Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Now we're told that Boyle, Woodford, and Fayette County EMS crews have been helping with Jessamine County's emergency calls. The search continues this midday for a pair of suspects who robbed a Lexington gas station. Two masked men held up the marathon on Versailles Road near Angliana Avenue just before midnight. A customer says one of the men forced him to the ground and threatened to kill him. No one was hurt. The two men got away with cash.
Well, it's a wet start to the work week for many. Showers and storms are expected most of the day, and those chances will ramp back up later in the week. Maybe some storms along the way. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center with a look ahead. Micah?
Well, it's actually the rain's starting to calm down now. We're still looking at pretty widespread rain outside, but there's some good news with this as a little bit drier air filters on in. Now, that doesn't mean it's over like Bill was talking about. We're going to expect at least that chance throughout the rest of the afternoon off into the evening hours. So there is some good news, but just don't let your guard down just yet. Most of this, believe it or not, is very light rain. There are bits and pieces over Perryville right now. Go up 68, the intersection there is 68 and 150. That's where we're seeing some of that rain. Harrodsburg, you're next in line. Salvisa, as you roll across Highway 127 and also 27, it's pretty wet go at it. It's Lexington picking up on some of that and down toward Athens area. That's where we're seeing a little rain. So showers will be likely, 52 degrees. The focus, though, is how active this forecast becomes there during midweek. It begins today, but it really picks up midweek. I'll show you those thunderstorms, possibility of some severe weather coming up.
All right, a lot of things to keep our eyes on, and we'll do it, and we thank you. And athletes in eastern Kentucky are taking some extra precautions before they start their seasons. Baseline concussion testing is becoming a common way for doctors to better identify when a child gets a concussion. A sports medicine doctor in Ashland says baseline testing is a sign that the public is starting to understand the severity of concussions and the importance of knowing when they happen.
It used to be 2-3 years ago, there would be this negotiation as far as, well, what can we get away with? What can we do? And that wasn't malice. That was just, again, not being educated. And that's even gone away.
Tonight on WKYT News at 6, 2 Kentucky athletes go through testing following a concussion, and they see the process of how they can get back on the field safely. All right, a new traffic signal at a busy Lexington intersection is not in action at midday as had been originally planned.
State transportation crews planned to activate a new traffic signal at Citation Boulevard and Greendale Road at 10 o'clock this morning, but that's been pushed back until next Monday. The intersection opened in September, and there were several crashes in the days after.
Well, investigators are still trying to figure out if it was a bomb that caused the downing of a Russian Metrojet over Egypt and if ISIS was responsible. We'll have the latest coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also ahead, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump proves to be ratings gold for Saturday Night Live. Find out how many people tuned into the show coming up on WKYT News at noon.